This is the story of a man who lived what he called a simple life. His formula for simplicity: family, friends, honest work, contribution, and perseverance. Dave approached life without hesitation, lived in the moment, but always moved forward. We all knew Dave as a thoughtful, respectful, and compassionate person, one who made others feel important and comfortable in his presence. He was a guy who always knew where to find his sweet spot in the simplest of life's pleasures. Dave was raised by men and women who came from large, close families, where constancy and commitment were valued along with independence and humility. These values were exemplified by Dave's first and most influential coach, his dad, Jack. Dave loved to tag along, and Jack, an accomplished athlete himself, influenced Dave most by just letting it be. There were also times, at Dave's request, that Jack quietly offered, "This is how you do it, son." Dave listened hardest to the men in his life who offered example by action rather than a lot of words, like his Uncle Steve, who taught Dave to appreciate the world in a larger way, and the many wonderful baseball, basketball, and football coaches who took Dave from junior athlete to winning 9 high school letters in all 3 sports. Then, at Western Michigan University, Dave met the man who would change the way Dave thought about his future: Bronco baseball coach Charlie Marr. Despite a WMU baseball career that could have led to the major leagues, Dave took another turn and headed instead for his destiny. After a year as an assistant to Coach Marr, Dave took all he had learned about life and the game and became Portage Northern High School's head baseball coach, JV football coach, and a business teacher. Dave never looked back. For 13 years, Dave loved every minute he spent as coach to Portage Northern Husky baseball and football athletes. Then, multiple sclerosis cut his coaching career short. In spite of numerous titles and accomplishments accrued to his teams, what Dave treasured and missed most were the relationships he built with his players. Throughout his life, when Dave would talk about his junior, high school, and collegiate athletic experiences, he talked about his coaches and teammates more than he did about his own accomplishments. These men became the touchstone for the strength of character that Dave would draw upon for the rest of his life. During Dave's early years as teacher and coach, he completed a master's degree in counseling and spent most of his 35 years at Portage Northern High School, expanding his connection to and influence on students through his work as their counselor. Also in his first years at Portage Northern, Dave met and married Pat. Together, they made a family with Shannon and David, who became the center of their world. Years later, they watched with great joy as Shannon and David made new families with Andy and Tabitha and gave them 5 wonderful grandchildren. In spite of the physical limitations of MS, Dave was able to hold every new grandchild, give lots of scooter rides, and most of all, be there to listen, appreciate, encourage, and love them. In the last years of Dave's life, he also made a home for his aging parents and enjoyed the blessings of having 4 generations of family under one roof. Dave and Pat found ways around MS and managed to keep fun in life by times with family and friends on the beach, in the sun, on the water, and aboard their sailboat, Spirit. Dave spent his last years giving back by speaking with and motivating students and student athletes. He served as a role model through his inductions into the Portage Northern and Western Michigan University Athletic Halls of Fame. Looking back on Dave's life, we see the rare combination of a boy who loved the simple pleasures of throwing a ball, hanging out with his dog Zipper, and being part of a loving family. We also see a young man who was wise beyond his years. A father and husband who loved unconditionally. A man who was an easy friend to many. And a guy who always knew where to find his sweet spot in the simplest of life's pleasures. Pleasures like the first pitch of a ball game on a warm spring afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise while we do our take on Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the bob. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if we ever get back. Well, let's root for the Broncos. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.